Mercedes-Benz, Vodafone, DHL, Alienware, Logitech G, and PaySafeCard.
Back to ESL One Hamburg 2018, powered by Intel and run by the teams and produced by Blitz. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, welcome back. It is late in the day. We have had a long 3 days in this group stage. It's been very interesting, actually. But we're now moved into the upper bracket semi-finals. They have begun on both sides of the bracket as well. The other match going on between the two Chinese teams right now, Vici Gaming and Asta Gaming, is already underway. Vici, I can see, are down a little bit right now, but there's not much in it. There's 129 gold in it right now at 44 minutes. Actually, that's just ended, literally just ended on my screen. It may have ended already where you are. I've got a slight delay on that one. And Asta have won the opening game in that one. Of course, went 9-1 during the group stages. So well done to Team Asta. 1-0, but it's best of threes, as it is in our game right now. We'll drop you right into the draft as we go ahead, Blitz and Purge. Not too much to fix here for Secret, you'd imagine, but they do need a better draft, don't they?
It's just more like watch out for the gotcha moment that happened last game. Where
it was so well hidden, though, wasn't it, with that drought and the Husker? No one saw that coming.
When you see these first two teamfight picks of both Phoenix and Enigma, not only are they super standard in the meta, but they're ranged heroes, but they don't scream like, I'm going to dominate the lanes. You know, they're heroes that you expect to see. The third pick was a Bane, which was not that weird either. And all of a sudden, boom, drought comes out, and you realize what you're up against. Yeah, very, very, very well played by Virtus.Pro in that draft. Let's see how they get on in the second one. Standard bans so far. Slightly odd from Virtus.Pro, but not massively out there. They look weird on VP side, but against Puppy, this is probably the normal thing.
Yeah, the axe is definitely towards Secret. They've been favouring that a lot, and the Tiny Wisp has been banned. Pretty much every game. I think we've had, every match so far has had the Tiny picked or banned, and Wisp is every game bar one.
So these are almost the same bans, only difference is there's a Bane in first phase instead of a Broodmother. Otherwise, both teams ban in the same way.
Yeah. And Phoenix opener from Virtus.Pro.
Alright, round two.
Let's
see
what
they can do this time.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I love these drafts when this happens.
Yeah.
The repeat.
The Enigma works when you're the first pick, because you can set it up for the second phase really easily.
So you're saying Secret should grab it?
It's harder because it's harder to do it from second phase, because what ends up happening, like I'll explain it. You take the Phoenix first, right, and then Secret. You have to think about the option of just taking the Silencer to dissuade the Enigma pick. But if your next two picks aren't the Silencer, then VP take the Enigma again, and then they just ban it out in the next phase.
You're saying Silencer is like the only hero that can.
I think it's the easiest way to deal with both of them. But they take the
Rubik.
Rubik.
Rubik kind of doesn't stop them taking the Enigma, it makes them think about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, so the Rubik plus the Brewmaster, I think, is a very nice way to dissuade picking both those heroes together. It's like you have a pre-built-in response. And I think this is what Secret did really well during the regular season last year, when they were just taking the Rubik straight up.
That's an early Invoker. It's a no-one Invoker, so we have to treat it with the utmost respect. But it's very early, gents, very early. We don't see them that early anymore, do we? And if we do, they get countered.
I think he's one of the better mid heroes right now. It's hard to counter him. He's just such an effective mid hero. A lot of the other heroes that are good against him too are kind of just meh.
I like those ban suggestions. It's all heroes that kind of required pretty good lockdown and good single target to deal with, so Seeker would have trouble against him.
Quick bans. Virtus.Pro know exactly what they want to do here. Brood Conquer gone. Void gone from Secret.
Void is really good with Phoenix and Sunstrike too.
So Secret, I think, are reacting towards the way that the last game draft went. I think Rubik, though, like I was saying, is just a good first two for them. I think YapzOr might be the best Rubik right now. He's certainly the greediest, and he transitions into a core himself at some point. It's really annoying to play against, and what it's going to do later on in the tournament, Paul, is that people are going to start first three banning it, and then it'll reopen up the other heroes that you want to take, like the Axe.
And that's partly what Puppy's plans is when he picks like this, isn't it? He's trying to force other things to come to the fore.
Yeah, and this is more of a long-term thing.
Yeah.
If you look at it, it's like you have to worry about this again.
Yeah.
So if you
That's
want,
what we got to with Liquid last season, wasn't it?
Exactly.
You ended up going, well, look, do we focus on banning 6 GH heroes? and ignoring the rest of it. Oh, that's no good because they've got this and they've got that.
That's kind of what happened during their TI run, where you would ban out the GH heroes, and then Matoma Man would always get one of his 3.
Absolutely.
The Veno, the Necro, or the Broodmother. You just have to throw a lot of different looks with your openings. That's why Virtus.Pro, I think, is also really smart for them to just keep opening the Phoenix. Because what you're telling teams is, we're willing to pick this, try to beat it. And as soon as teams start to ban it, then it'll reopen up the rest of their hero pool. Like, that's how you do it. That's how you become a scary team. You become solid with these openers. You get teams used to the bans. Then you just flip things on a script.
Shake a ban from Secret. Inside the Void.
Which would allow them to counter a lot of easier to burst cores. Like, I'm thinking Weaver is the first one. Still very good against Phoenix. Sometimes good against Invoker, I feel like.
PL is also there, yep.
Okay, yeah, that's that's a PL counter.
Yeah.
PL is really nice against Invoker and Phoenix. Really easy to get on top of the egg, and it's hard for the Invoker to get the combo off because of your walk, just doppelganger away. And it's nice in the link phase, high armor. Not an easy hero for Invoker to lock down. Plus, eventually you'll get a Diffusal Blade, which destroys Invoker. And you have a gap close in the Phantom Rush too. There's multiple ways for you to deal with the hero.
What was the most recent nerf to PL? I can't remember. It was like
didn't they do
Doppelganger
the
25.
Yeah, it's 3 seconds to 4.
And I think there was an agility gain nerf too, if I'm not mistaken. Something like that.
In 19D?
I think so, yeah. One of the most recent patches. Because he was still being picked after TI, right? So
he was.
From TI till now, there's been nerfs. And I think, pretty sure the Doppelganger one was one, but I think he also got an edgy gain nerf. Something like that. Or it was like they lowered his starting it. I don't remember. But it hasn't been picked a huge amount so far. It's gone a little bit away, so see if they can do something about it.
I wonder if you take something like Legion yourself to help deal with the PL. But then you'd have something like a Legion Phoenix lane, and I don't know how good that sounds. So they take Magnus. So they do find a way to deal with the PL.
Okay, so guaranteed cleave, if they got a melee hero, that is. And then, yeah, RP for team fight stuff.
The only scary part is that you are picking a big team fight ulti that has a slow windup against Rubik. I would imagine at some point, there's a pretty decent chance that YapzOr steals that RP.
But if he, as long as he uses it to defend the egg, for example, I don't think it's going to matter too much because the egg will always do the follow-up.
It just depends on how much farm YapzOr gets out of this game. So right now what we know about Secret is likely that it's going to be a Brewmaster support. They've been doing that all the time, and a Rubik support.
Answer you earlier. Yeah, no, cool. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, there's absolutely no way that Secret are going to do like PL support or something like that. I don't want to...
You can get Orb of Venom on him again.
I don't want to eat my words, but Puppy's been doing some wild stuff.
Yeah, I mean, but more likely they're going to use that brew as the support.
Yeah. So you have your 4 and your 5 position.
Yeah. Yeah, to answer your question earlier, Kevin, 7.19D, Spirit Lance cast range was rescaled from 750 down to 525, 600, 675, 750.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would have really liked Legion now.
On VP side?
Yeah. Just the Veno pick.
Veno.
Why just offset? I guess you can remove Gale now. That part's pretty good.
Now you need some kind of core that has mobility, that doesn't get just completely crushed by the Veno Gale.
The same way though, don't play wards, won't they just make it hard for Legion to get in?
TB Magnus.
That's
TB Magnus Invoker.
You also don't need to rely on his, like when you're meta, even if you're empowered, the extra damage alone is helpful. It doesn't really matter that you don't get the cleave.
You buy so many agility items. Although historically, as we've watched a lot of TB and PL since TI especially, I feel like PL is still the better late game hero. Like I think with Empower it could be different, but generally I've felt underwhelmed by TB versus PL. Like Reflection is not the same as it used to be. Is a straight up counter, for example.
Do you feel like he tops out earlier?
It's more like he just doesn't always have the right tools to deal with PL. PL can disengage easier, he can re-engage. Like Sunder's amazing, obviously, and it's also got a nerf. It requires mana now. So in super late game scenarios, there's just a lot of little things like that. PL can overwhelm his allies, but he can't really stop the PL kind of a thing. maybe this game with these heroes and with Empower.
Secret have the built-in way to deal with the TB2 though. They've got the Brewmaster ulti. You just dispel the illusions.
That's true.
So they get Ogre. Oh, I like this pick a lot. This is what transitions your TB into the best core in the game. You give them both Empower. If Empower wasn't enough, Kevin, now they've given a Bloodlust.
This is a VP special, man. A Bloodlust and Empower, and then they'll pick like a Sniper and like some other really hard carry. In this case, it's going to be an Invoker and a TB, but I don't even think TB wants to use Metamorphosis this game. Just don't scale it. Just grab Empower and Bloodlust and just slap away all the PL illusions. Although you can also Dispel Empower. That's another thing that's going to be caught. And Bloodlust, actually.
Yeah.
I mean, if...
So an early BKB is going to be the name of the game for this TB.
Yeah, it could be huge.
BKB is massive in this game against Secret's lineup.
Yeah, it really is.
So for Secret now, you're most likely looking for an offlaner or a mid, depending on what you feel like the situation calls for. And they take a Zeus, which was their... In the group stage, it was their counter to the TB.
Yeah, it was, yeah. Yeah, that's what they felt more comfortable. Now they proved that it can work as well. Just as a coincidence, perhaps, or not coincidence, Vici have started running Magnus Ogre together, and they played it in their first game against Asta in the other semi-final.
Do you think that was a pentagram for a second?
Yeah, I got hyped.
Nearly.
Dude,
Nearly. It looked kind of good because all 5 are in there in green, and you thought, oh, that's okay, that's the whole thing.
I
It's
want a
not
pentagram
quite the whole
with
thing.
Doom. At the top, and then I'm going to be happy.
Or a Shadow Fiend. It looked very good, and it's because both teams have good synergy with what they've picked, don't they, Kevin?
I can't relate it to the graph now. I'm just thinking about
Okay.
what the best Doom would Shadow
Doom,
Fiend.
no, you're right. Doom
His
would be
ulti
good.
is literally pentagram.
No,
Get
you're
that
right.
stuff out
Yeah,
of there.
No,
Get the hell out.
Okay, all right, you win.
Draft wise, all I can think of is pentagrams, but I think the dispels can do it. Honestly, I think the dispels will be able to mitigate the bloodlust and the empower. So I'm going to say I like Secret's draft better.
Interesting. Okay. Too much damage for Virtus.Pro, Will?
I think VP will do it. I feel like the Phoenix is going to be still pretty effective this game. They have multiple ways to help out their TB too. Like they can protect them with Magnus ult, with Phoenix Sunray. I think VP will do it.
Okay, all right. Good split decision across the middle between our two experts. Time to head back to our commentators for game number 2. Secret up against it. Can they come back and draw things up? Let's find out.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yes, Secret versus VPA. Game 1 that was sort of started slowly and ended all abruptly. We're going to see some change up now in game 2 as, yes, sort of the super duper Terrorblade build really is going to be the plan from VP. Get this TB to a point, buff him up to an insane amount. And he's going to be a pretty scary raid boss. The question is, do Secret have the tools to deal with that?
I don't know. Alacrity, Bloodlust, Empower. He's gonna be feeling pretty good on the Terrorblade, but glad Kevin did point out the dispels, of course, from that brew. Could be a solution. However, you can't actually just spam it because your Wind Panda does have a certain amount of mana. I believe you have 2 usages of each spell when you are actually in that Wind Panda, so we will see if that is a factor. And also, they did do some like counter picks, right? They went for the Venom to deal with the Magnus Blink. They went for the Zeus to have the damage versus the Terrorblade. So Secret definitely chose certain heroes to be able to deal with the VP's draft, but will it actually be enough is the question. Can a PL actually lane really well versus Invoker? Because in the past, PL was great versus Invoker in the lane. You'd always be able to like bully him, you charge him constantly, but from lately, I've been seeing especially no one just dominate the mid matchup no matter what it is.
Let's have a look. So indeed that. So the end of that last game was a scary one for Secret, so we'll see if they're able to recover themselves and strike back here in this all-important game 2. Of course, loser of this won't be out of the tournament, just be knocked down to the longer route to success.
It also is important that, it is a Zeus, which is one of the heroes that people like to counterpick the Terrorblade with, but it's not the mid Zeus. It is an offlane Zeus, which could get sacrificed a bit. We see a clash.
Poppy. Got a few fire spirits onto him. Sunstrike's gonna come in. Oh, doesn't connect. But he may take down. No, he will survive.
Solo forced to TP.
Oh, that would have been quite the start if that Sunstrike did hit, but just a little too far ahead of Puppy.
That could just completely change the mid matchup even more, right?
Yeah,
A free
if he
null
got that,
talisman. Oy.
But indeed he doesn't. And we'll get to see what lanes we've got coming out from both sides. And looks to be pretty much as expected. Sunstrike, nicely done to secure the range creep.
Very down low on mana because of missing the first one too, but we'll see if that actually affects him inside of the laning phase because he wants to be able to keep his Forge Spirits up, and he's going to have some difficulty in the mana department since he's Clarities is not really likely versus a PL.
And I'm interested to see how well Zai can do this game. Because sort of as the panel said, in terms of the situations I was in last game as the Conker, he didn't really get the chance to play as sort of a core. You know, he did sort of fall off the wagon a little bit. Do you think he's going to have an easier time as the Zeus?
As the Zeus too, because Solo is there.
I mean, he does, yeah. Solo's just going to run him down a bit, give him a good few punches.
One more hit and he's dead. He's dead.
Oh, Solo. Just, I mean, I asked how Zai's going to do, and he doesn't make you look very good from the off.
Well,
he gives up first blood.
He's an offlaner as the Zeus versus a pretty strong damage-dealing lane. Like, this is a great lane for VP.
I mean, okay, but is there you've sort of got this Brewer and Zeus. I feel like in other situations we see the Brewer as the core, the Zeus as the support.
It's true, but the Ogre is one hero that really is a big X factor. A lot of the times when you're laning versus pretty much anything, it's like, oh god, we have a Weaver or a PL versus an Axe. Ogre's there, and he just changes the matchup.
They're just getting a second kill.
Look at him. He doesn't care. He's got 6 stick charges too.
He's like, go on then. Throw your nuke out. I'm okay. I've done the maths. I can regen off and walk away. Solo is just absolutely toying with these boys up top.
And that's the majority of the Zeus mana pool too, which is very, very costly. Yeah. As no one has started to, I mean, he's regained his mana pretty much. He hasn't really been using any spells, been safe, only used the one Forge Spirit at the start. Now playing the lane very nicely, tied up or relatively tied up.
That's the thing, yeah, to bear in mind. You know, Solo getting them as low as they were at top and killing them. There was also potential Sunstrike if needed, and that they didn't need it. You know, Solo just finding these kills on his own. So again, if he gets them even anywhere close to where he had them before, Sunstrike kills can certainly be set up.
Bottom could start to get troublesome though for VP. They've got this, you know, VP Secret's got Venomancer and Rubik. Venomancer, one of the most annoying heroes to play as melee heroes. So every single time they step up, they're gonna get Gale, they're gonna get right clicked, and Roger can't really commit too much to help because he's a Phoenix. So his right clicks are pretty pathetic until he gets levels.
They are both heroes that I guess can sort of play away, that they have a skewer and a dive to create the distance, but good plays with the telekinesis could certainly still set up and punish those attempted escapes. So we'll see how that occurs, and indeed top Zai suffering in CS. He really is. He's not getting much out of this lane at all with the way that Solo's able to play.
No one's gotten, I think one more range creep than us so far, but he's also given up, I think, at least one of the Forge Spirits. So experience is even in the mid.
Bottom, they do catch out Pasha. They get the kill on Pasha with that play, as it talks about. They have the telekinesis from Yapzor. Yapzor does fall low. Roger still with some spirits to throw out. Won't find the connection there with that last spirit, so Yapzor will survive.
This is the big lane for Secret. I mean, this one and mid. Mid should be pretty okay. He's doing just fine still versus the Invoker. Top, though, it's a complete free farm gonna be happening for Ramses pretty much. He's getting slowed down a tiny bit, but they're getting kills because of that.
But this mid lane as well, you know, as you say, it's okay for the PL. In some sort of player versus player matchups, the PL would just straight up beat the Invoker, though. This is no one playing the Invoker really well to keep it consistent farm with Disha.
He's got the raindrop. Will block the damage.
He did turn a little bit there.
They're pinging for Sunstrike.
Is he going to come out?
I haven't heard it yet. Ramses kills Puppy top.
No attempt with the Sunstrike? Okay.
No attempt.
No attempt. Okay, focusing on the farm, I believe what the creep wave was underneath the tower.
So I haven't seen the PL versus Invoker matchup that much after the quelling or the 4-man shield got removed.
Back in the day.
But now, like with the skilling of the 3 points in the Doppel, I think it's still PL favored. But now I've seen Invokers just getting better and better at the lane. So with this double null build, with you using your Forge Spirit micro a bit better, it seems like Invokers can do just fine. Puppy up top again, getting pressured.
On Solo, Puppy will turn, and Solo does tank a few hits from the tower.
Yeah, he goes for the Drunken Haze build. Prefer that much more. I mean, it is a support brew, but getting the Drunken Brawler can sometimes backfire when you're playing versus Terrorblade with that reflection.
Yapzor tries to take the bounty ring away, but Roger is able to pick it up in time, and now Yapzor in trouble. Roger quick with the dive and with damage over time. Yapzor's going to be taken down. Nisha trying to find Roger. In return, Roger's got the Fairy Fire.
He spends his gold. Pasha doesn't care. He wants the bounty rune instead. Roger accepts his death as Solo. He might also have to accept his death, or he might just make them go for a walk. Oh, he's even taunting them. Look at that. He walks right back. He identifies they use the shrine, and he's just going to walk away.
Yeah, such a beefy nuisance on this Ogre. Not really a lot that can get done. Mid lane, TP's going to be coming in. Look at the cold snap, but mid one Doppels there. Solo with the wraparound too, as mid one in a lot of trouble. Set up with the Fire Blast. He does avoid the Sunstrike. Tried to turn towards no one with the illusions, but cannot kill off the Invoker, so will lose his life as Solo and Roger Come on with a smart play to catch mid one by surprise.
And we say Solo's just going for a walk, but he's actually setting up a gank. He probably calls for Roger to TP mid. They get that nice wraparound.
Very smartly done.
Yeah.
6 minutes in, 5 for 3, favoring VP. They do have the 1K lead as well.
The Vano Nisha's not actually getting the most last hits down bottom because they're actually just like getting ran at for kills constantly. He's only at 17 on the Vano in comparison to Ramsey's 30. So far a great start for VP. They should be very happy with this one.
There's
no one. With this haste rune.
He's made sort of this surprise rotation that Puppey was not prepared for, not expecting Zai will be able to get back underneath the tower.
Might have to be careful though, Zai. There's a wraparound coming here. They're putting the ward down too. They have vision of him.
They want to go for this one and get themselves a second kill from this movement, and with the Sunstrike coming in, they certainly will. No one secures both kills. More money going the way of this Invoker.
With who already has Tread's double null, he's got the clarity going too, walks his way back mid, is full HP and just enough mana to be able to continue that laning stage versus mid one.
So I will get one of the walls, at least the other observer still standing. I believe didn't quite see it there with the lightning bolt. So that ward will remain there for VP. As VP, they're ready to dive in again. Ramsey's heading forward. He's got the reflection. Does have the stick charges too. Zai with his own stick, trying to throw down back, and they do get Ramsey. Solo and Roger now sort of caught in an awkward position as Yapsor's coming with the counter rotation. Solo tanking the tower. Roger trying to get out from the trees. Will be able to kill off Zai. Roger, Sunray, TP attempt to keep his distance away from Puppey, and it will work. Gets himself out of the map and out of the lane as he'll TP to safety. Solo still able to survive as he runs back towards the tower.
That was great. He hits level 4 off the kill, skills up the Sunray. Usually don't see the Sunray skilled anymore that early on, but just to survive, Roger decides to get it.
And you can sort of see why Ramsey went for it, because if you look at Ramsey's, he is like, I don't know, like 1 XP away from Sunder. So he was relying on diving in and hitting that level 6 maybe to have that sort of clutch counterplay, but he didn't quite get the level 6.
Yeah, and in the meanwhile, that was a solo kill mid, right? No one actually is able to find mid one by himself. I think what I saw initially when we saw the kills happening top was he used the cold snap, which allowed the doppel happened, right? Yeah. And then after the doppel, I think mid one overplayed a little bit and then got ice walled and chased down. I believe that's what happened, because doppel level 1 is still very, very long cooldown, so you can get baited a bit by the cold snap and chased after.
Top lane Solo back in. I mean, again, though, you sort of throw a lot of damage at this Ogre, you're not going to kill him.
He's happy with this anyway. It's like you're using your spells on the Ogre, instead of on Ramses. Ramses does have to be a bit careful. Rubik is level 5 already, so the damage coming through from that Fable is quite high. So he's just got to push Solo out. Ramses holding skill point.
No, that was pretty cute there as well underneath the tower. I mean, Ramses, he gets drunk in a haze, and there's a range creep by the tower. He uses the mirror image, gets the CS with that instead.
Beautiful.
That's why the tips were being traded there between him and Puppey.
How's bottom been? Pasha is still only level 5. Nisha is 7, and as soon as I say that, sorry, JJ.
Lose Solo, the 3 of them staying persistent up top. Yapso will now move down towards the bottom as Nisha's in trouble. He's getting chased here with the Sunray. Sunstrike coming down, and BAM! On point. Pasha will die, but they get Nisha out. So 1-for-1 between the two cores. Roger should be okay as well. Yapso not with any other firepower to throw down onto the Phoenix. VP still with the slight lead this game.
And it's important that that they get kills in bottom, because then Pasha, who's already kind of struggling on levels and money, he gets kills out of it, so the gold and everything kind of gets stabilized versus that Venomancer. If we look at the net worth, it's, Veno's still going to be high up there, but Magnus isn't in the most dreadful position possible. He's in a horrible lane, right? Magnus versus Veno is never any fun. We do see Yapsor, typical Yapsor, getting all those secured kills. Level 6. Already majority of the way toward that Yule Scepter, up in that top 5 net worth. So even though there is 10 kills for VP, Secret has a slight gold advantage off that. But the big scare is always, of course, this no-one Invoker who's off to a phenomenal start.
And he's not
point
been
booster
punished at all.
Yeah, already that point booster, high levels of Exort too.
Roger, with this Inv, there's not a lot he can do on his own. So, some of the XP getting himself closer and closer towards the 6. He's got a tome on the way out in the courier, that'll do it. top. Constant spam onto Ramsey. Zai's starting to pick it up a little bit on this top lane, but still, you know, the farm, it ain't great for this Zeus.
No, and he is going to go for a hood, though, on the Terrorblade, which is a little bit different, but does make sense because of what it's worth. And Sunstrike...
Not quite enough. We'll split a little bit.
Yeah, split on that catapult.
As Mid-One does survive, but certainly being kept on his toes by no one's Invoker.
So I was wondering if this would happen, though. That hood that I was mentioning on the Terrorblade. In a bunch of games, I do see when you're versus these like hard like counters that just kind of mess you up as a Terrorblade, like the Pugnas, the Zeuses. I was wondering if we'd see players go back to this, because we did see it for some short period, right? Some players were opting to do that.
Just get the hood first. I feel like something, you know, Envy would do a lot of games.
Yeah.
Back when he was playing carry.
It slows you down on your item progression, but allows you to actually play your hero versus your counterpart.
Yeah. And especially in a game where, as we talked about, because of all the buffs anyway, even though your sort of items are slowed down, there's still going to be big potential for you in the fights.
Yeah, and there is a lot of magic damage coming up from Secret. Whenever there's a Zeus and a Rubik, there's going to be like that aggressive no field that will come out too. It's bottom side. Ramsey is just looking to use this meta to farm the triangle here. He has big stacks already starting. They're going to be really wanting to use that in power with the Terrorblade at some point. As Solo is just given the top lane, he's just going to be soaking the pressure from the Zeus.
And no one gets the deny on his own mid tower.
Puppey wants to get wards down. He wants to try to set some up here to watch the Terrorblade's farm. Usually the most important thing to do versus TB is get those deep wards down in. The Zeus
kills it of Roger. Niche able to get that last bit of poison damage as the Zeus breathes down low enough to tick out.
Gonna be a Vessel Rush on the Venomancer too. High magic damage gonna be coming through. So much burst on Secret.
It's Puppey. It's deep, no one. Getting the kill onto Zai there.
Jeez. He's just all over the place. He was walk top, found the kill. Alacrity Cold Snap versus Zeus. Can't really walk away. 790 HP. The circle is drawn by Solo that he wants to be playing on the left side of the map, I would believe, instead of playing near that Venomancer. The Veno is always a scary factor when you're playing with these type of heroes, when you have a Magnus in particular on your lineup. Can't actually get on top of him easily. It's like the Magnus can charge, he can skewer in with the Phoenix, but can be a bit scary. They could set up for some kills, though, if they do make a rotation down with the Invoker. But I do believe they want to be playing around that top side, not allowing them to. Because if they're making space on top, then it's going to draw the attention top, which allows Ramses to just play around that triangle.
No one. He's got his eyes on Mid-One. That smoke can back up, so they can be there to help out. No one have a bit of a go onto Mid-One. Mid-One getting cold snapped. He's got the doppelganger. He's going to head up towards the north. There's going to be a telekinesis drop down, but the Supernova's out with the AoE from the Chaos Meteor. They'll find Mid-One's PL.
Melted. Ramsey's mid, though. Spotted.
He does have Sunder available. Can he find a target to use it? Zai keeping himself to the edge. Roger will offer up his life if necessary, but the charges with the hood, keeping Ramses alive for now. Do they actually have the magical to burst through it? He still has that Sunder to play with, and he's got it. Sunder's Roger. He's going to be okay for a little bit of time. Does get thrown up into the air. Solo comes in from the side, has the Fire Blast, the Sun Rays there from Roger to offer the heal. Pasha with the skewer, finding another target as Puppey being focused as Ramses. He's out with the Metamorphosis, gets the two of them. The double kill comes through. The Sunstrike, the Fire Blast connects onto Yapzor, as Yapzor will fall as well. No one now wicked sick on his Invoker, and they were just desperate for that Terrorblade kill, but Ramses with the hood, it really made all the difference. He would have certainly been burst down before he gets that Sunder opportunity, and he hesitated with the Sunder. He knew that he could draw them into that spot by those stairs up to the high ground, and then go for the Sunder on Roger that would allow the rest of his team time to come in and come out on top of that fight by a mile.
Yeah, I mean, the itemization there alone was just fantastic, and also the way VP played around it. Solo made the call even a minute before all that happened. He's like, I want to play on the left side, be sure to be backing up everybody.
Look at this again.
Roger is that tool to make sure that Ramses has a target, and this hood just doing so much work. He would have absolutely died.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, 100%.
He was totally dead. And even at this point, you know, they're like, well, he's still low, he's used Sunder, maybe we can still find something, but the beam set up, Pasha, no hesitation with the RP, securing themselves an extra kill out of the play. And it's just picture perfect from VP.
Yeah, great teamwork.
Sunstrike being used as well, giving, I believe, that sort of vision to get that Fire Blast through to allow the control to get Yapzor too.
Is that one of the faster Aghanims we've had on an Invoker
15
too?
minutes in, it's got to be.
He got it a little bit
Look at
before,
that.
right? Yeah. Look at that.
So 7 minutes faster than the average, which is 22 minutes and 24 seconds.
And it's not a naked one. He's got treads, he's
No.
got double null, he's got the wand as well. I mean, that's more of like the standard build now, but that's incredibly fast. He's also level 13 in
crazy.
this game. I mean, he's tied up with the PL, so there is that, but
Oh, boy.
still pretty remarkable.
I mean, there's a reason why this team gets away with picking the Invoker early, as the panel said. This is a no-one Invoker. You don't want to mess with it, and how do you? They have got the Diffusal Blade on mid one. So mid one and his PL still in a good position, but in terms of coming to these team fights where you're wanting to control the Invoker, there's not a lot of it. If they don't have the Primal Split, Puppey doesn't get the Primal Split off, it's pretty much a telekinesis. Other than that, no one has the ability to dance in and around the team fights without too much threat to himself at all.
And the Zeus has been... Zai is only level 8. Look at this, the Sunstruck's just gonna kill him!
Zai he's had some rough games on the offlane, and this is certainly one of the roughest. I think he's behind Japsor on the Rubik.
I mean, do you expect to take 600 pure damage at the 17-minute mark?
Yeah, but I mean, I mean, you're the expert, you know. Zai, he's on the Zeus. Should he be doing it as rough as he is? Like,
He's an offlane Zeus, it is much harder. You don't see it often
so
for a
you're
reason.
saying this is the hero, this is the draft, this is the situation Zai's been put into. You're not saying Zai's just having a bad game?
Oh, he's not having a great game either, of course, but he's put in a position where it's tough to succeed as the Zeus, right?
Okay.
You're playing versus an Ogre who's going to bully you out of the lane constantly.
Because, I mean, at this point, it really does feel like the Zeus Brew lane, it did absolutely nothing this game.
It definitely did not do what they wanted it to do, not at all. But it's also because of the itemization, right? Like, if Ramses didn't go for Hood, the Zeus would have absolutely gotten the kill earlier.
I mean, they said it in game one, the panel, you know, Zai ended up being another support, and I think he's ended up more of a support this game as well. His impact is going to be minimal as the Zeus at this stage. You know, the Hood obviously on Ramses, he's getting the BKB next. Like, this Zeus, I don't think anybody is scared about the Zeus on VP's lineup. The best thing that Zai can offer at this point is the vision from sort of the Thunder God's Wrath. Damage is not going to do anything at all.
Or a Blink Canceller toward the ERP.
Sure,
Also...
sure, the Blink cancelling could be nice.
But he's not going for one. He actually just went the Dominator. He had the Blink Gold, but Pasha's like, I'm playing versus Venomancer Zeus. Yeah. I don't even want to get a Blink right now. I'm going to play the farming game, and you know what? I'm not even going to get one anyway. I'm actually clearing up a pipe. That's how we deal with Venomancer. That's how we deal with Zeus. That's how we deal with all this magic damage. Just get magic resistance. Solo. If he gets a multicast here with the Sunstrike.
No. He's going for it. They've got to spread the damage.
They do spread it.
They do. They keep him alive. And they will pop the ult and take down Solo. That's a good attempt. Why not try for it? But indeed, Secret were there with the backup to share that Sunstrike damage and make sure he didn't die.
It might not have been enough anyway. He had the cloak. I didn't notice, but it would have been close. Good share, though. Good share, though, by Yapstor, making sure that he tanks it with him. And because of all these aggressive movements, as we see on the map, the very deep vision coming out from VP, so they can actually see all the moves that Secret is making when they're even coming outside of the base. I mean, some of them were there for quite a long time, but this is just typical VP. Whenever they see these situations, when they're making deep plays, they put this deep vision. As like you mentioned, the double BKBs will be coming out at a pretty early time on both that Invoker as well as that Terrorblade, which will negate a lot of the damage from Secret. Even the PL, a lot of the damage that comes out from PL is the mana burn.
Yeah. I mean, overall, it does say it's just less than a 1k lead for VP, but it feels like they are so much further ahead when you look at the overall picture of this game.
Especially when it's not just a Terrorblade in this game, like Panel was talking about. It's a Terrorblade who's going to have Bloodlust, Empower, Eventual Alacrity. Ooh, that was scary.
Oh boy. At least Zai's got that 25% XP gain talent, so
that could be the 7 Grace.
Help him get back in, get those levels. But it's still going to be a long road to recovery for Zai.
He's buying small items, just so he can at least set some mobility out of his items, so he can stay in the back lines. If he can actually survive in the team fights, it's still a Zeus who does high damage. Pasha?
No, they will finally catch it. Telekinesis onto Pasha. Pasha tries to skewer it down to low ground, but he'll be trapped on the cliff. They get Pasha.
Zai gets the kill, so some experience for him. That last hit. Some.
There's the BKB for Ramses. This boy, he's not gonna die. He's He's got Hood, he's got BKB.
It's so early to have it.
How
When
do
he
you
was
kill him?
205 last hits already.
BKB as well, coming out for no one. It's, oh yeah.
And look at another one faster. Then this
Only
one's
a
not.
little
This one's
bit.
not the average. This is the fastest. Thank you for pointing out.
Sorry.
That we got.
Okay,
we saw it, JJ. Before you pointed it out.
Only 31 faster than the average, but no, this is 31 faster than the fastest.
Mm-hmm.
My goodness. Oh, I mean, yeah, terrible. Who needs to step it up, Ramses? Come on. What we got for that one? Poor Ramses. I mean,
It's
you
still
know,
a fast BKB.
the
There's
game
just a
where
lot of
someone
times
got-
people rush it. This one he went for the little bit
Yeah.
greed. He went Hood and
he's
well,
got loads. I
yeah,
mean, this
the
is
Yasha
still
first.
great item timing, of course. It's just, you know, it's not the record-breaking BKB rush, as
Sure.
you say, that some other player obviously did. I mean,
some other player.
I mean,
the way you say it.
some other player. I mean, 15-minute BKB. Does that actually sound that good? That sounds like you're getting it way too quickly.
Maybe he needed it. Don't judge.
They might have lost that game.
Don't
Can we
judge.
check down the stats?
Don't judge.
That game where there's a 15-minute BKB on Terrorblade, the Terrorblade lose. We need to know these facts.
Sticker still has prioritized putting aggressive wards down, so they want to at least try to stalk and look for the kills on the Terrorblade. But as for invading, VP's been playing very well around Ramses, making sure he doesn't actually get set up or surrounded alone. They always seem to be there with him. At least one or two of their heroes. As the Bloodlust and Empowers continue. Puppy going for a small item here, at least a
Let's go
drum.
for the drums.
Yeah, so it's something in particular for him to get the benefit with his Primal Split. He's not getting anything bigger just yet. So it looks like majority heroes gathering around that mid. Mid one is the highest level in the game still currently. He has Diffusal and Manta finished up, so he's
doing
pretty
very
beefy.
well. I mean, both him and Nisha are
Yeah.
really keeping themselves perfectly in the game as a treat. And Zai he's starting to catch up. Pasha's also starting to fall behind, so Zai is catching up to the pace of Pasha.
One thing we do have to watch out for is, though, the Phoenix, right? Phoenix is level 12 too, so high level of Egg, and they have combos to be able to break people hitting it. They have, of course, the RP, but they also have the Deafening Blast, which is a huge one to protect that Supernova, which could be a huge factor as well in the upcoming engagements.
And we really could see... Ooh, top lane, no one.
Tornado.
TP out. He's
Oh,
not going to make
Zai's
it.
there.
He's going to put the BKB, turns with the Deafening Blast. Nisha and Zai are there with the wraparound. Can he escape with this BKB? They're popping the ult. The Sunray heal will come through from Roger. No one's still trying to get out, but he can't. Spirit Vessel's there, and Secret get a big pickoff. Getting no one. A lot of money for Nisha. 756 bonus card to ending that 8-kill streak that no one was on.
Looked like he misinvoked to a Tornado instead of the Ghost Walk, but I think inevitably he still dies anyway. The sentries are there, and there's a Zeus there constantly spamming the Lightning Bolt. That's a massive pickup.
That's a big one for them to find.
That's the BKB too that he used, so the 10 charge. As they make their way into the Roche Pit immediately after that.
Ooh, I like Ramsey going the S&Y. We're seeing S&Y make a bit of a comeback in some of the players' eyes.
He wants to battle.
Yeah, it's a great amount of beef for him to have. That's sort of, you know, that inexpensive mid-game item you can pick up, and he's battle ready.
It's 10 seconds until Invoker pops up. We hear the early brew split popping out to try to protect this.
So, Solo!
Solo walks
he
in.
walks in and dies.
Invoker in 2 seconds.
Ramses.
Solo buys back.
I don't think they can do anything to stop this Roshan, though, as a Secret.
They back out of the pit, though. They're looking for a fight.
Okay, so maybe see if they can get Ramses. Does a BKB, Sunder, and Hood.
They got a bit scared because Solo bought back and also...
How low was the Roche? He got pretty low,
He's not
though,
that
didn't
low.
He? Okay.
He still has 3,000. It's relatively low, yeah. I think they're afraid of the
Ramses,
Invoker.
he wants that Sunder. He's BKB'd and he's walking in to find a Sunder target, but he doesn't find one. If you can't find a Sunder target during the BKB, that's not great news.
That's a BKB wasted, for sure.
And now he can't find easy Sunders. We are going to see them find Puppy outside of the pit. They know he hasn't got the Primal Split. Nisha popping the Gale onto Roger. Setups there for the Tornado to come in, and Supernova as well committed. Heals up from Yapso, but he's stuck in a bit of a tough place. The Deafening Blast and right clicks from Ramses with the Metamorphosis will finish him off. A buyback comes out from the Rubik. Zai has burst down Pasha on the side. Pasha does have buyback available if he wants to commit for the fight, and he certainly does. Buys back, and he's heading over to join the rest of his team as VP are pushed back towards the Shrine. The Shrine is unavailable, though. Secret, a move back into the pit. Sunstrike's going to check out the current situation. No, and they do have the team fight ready still. They've got that RP, but so does Secret. They're just without the Primal Split themselves.
The meta is almost gone on Ramses, too. He has BKB up in 8 seconds, though. And the panel mentioned
he's heading in again. Mid one's going to be there. Can they find a good jump? There's the RP coming through, but it doesn't catch anybody. It doesn't catch anyone at all, and Mid-One's already killed off Solo. Secret gonna get the rest of them out of there. The sun rays out onto Nisha. Puppey heading in from the side. As the VP, they've not managed to find any kills out of this engagement. They've now got to try and retreat. Sunstrike's down, connects onto Zai, but there's the burst. Mid-One chases down a second, double kill as he picks up the finish onto Roger. Not the fight at all that VP were trying to execute, as they're now without Metamorphosis. They're without RP. Secret will happily go back into the pit. And I don't think they've got anything to worry about at all when it comes to getting this Roshan and an Aegis, as that is a hefty team fight loss for VP. And some very nice gold and glory secured for Mid-One on his PL.
See why that Magnus is so difficult to play versus Venomancer, and even throwing in a Zeus on top too. Just, you can't find opportunities to go for your RPs, and when he does try to go for it, it's a PL who I believe gets the doppel off.
Yeah, he did. Was able to jump away amongst the chaos that all.
That was great way that Secret kind of played that, and just like walking in and poking, and then walking back and poking again. Brewmaster, the split by Puppey was really nicely used in the beginning before the fight even starts, just to kind of give vision, and then Zai throws down a Zeus ulti to give vision as well. So they've just had so much information inside the team fights in comparison to VP, who were kind of running in blind, right? We see Ramsey's BKBs and runs in the pit like, wait a minute, no one's here.
No, that was a very sort of awkward start to the fight from VP that Secret absolutely punished. As the game goes on, and Zai continuing to certainly make that recovery. He's getting back up there in the goal.
You doubted him.
I did. It was a rough start. As I said, we have seen Zai struggle recently, but this game, he's getting back on track after a tough beginning.
He's halfway toward Aghanims. Yeah. That can be, I mean, even more annoying to deal with inside of the fights.
That almost makes it impossible to play the Blink Magnus.
Yeah, it's just so Bueno Wards, Nimbus, Brewlings.
Like, what is Pasha getting next? He needs what, either the Shadow Blade or the BKB?
He's gotten the hood, so at least he can absorb like the Zeus ulti.
Okay, he's gone back for the hood.
I mean, he can hood, pop the hood, absorb the Zeus ulti, and still blink.
Still blink, yeah. That works.
He has to be able to get something off, because it does seem like them walking into the fights is super difficult versus what Secret has. Secret just has such a great way inside of like that big area whenever they do set up for it. Mid-One.
Oh,
just a long chase.
Roger does it the supernova if necessary, and we'll some raid TP out.
So VP, just like last game, do think that they're gonna chill for a little bit, wait for that Aegis to tick down unless they see a very superior fight that they can try to take, because they still have high farming mechanics, as we've mentioned. Alpha Wolf has been following Ramses now for a while. They're going to be throwing Bloodlust and Empowers on him too, so look at that damage. Delicious. Solo, getting spotted out here. This does not look like a great place for VP to fight. Yeah.
Now let's get Solo.
Just near a shrine. I mean, it's uphill. Too risky, as Zai could get picked off here though with no defensive item, has to hide in the tree line. Will he get found? It's a long TP. He TP to the shrine, but no one does not.
Fine. No one's not going to come hunting.
That was scary. Whenever you see those long TPs, it's like, oh god. Hope he doesn't look here. Puppey just uses the split.
Maybe see if he could force a BKB charge out of Ramses, as he will chase him down, set up with the Wind Panda. It's already out from Ramses. See if Ramses does get spooked. The rest of Secret are heading over under the cover of smoke to get there that little bit quicker, but is by the shrine, so TP's come in. Pasha's there. Roger as well. See if Secret really want to try and push for more. The Tornado coming down as well as the EMP as Puppey looking to get punished. The Sunstrike's going to be off the mark. The ult comes out, but Ramses moves in with the BKB. The Supernova's there. RP controlling Mid-One, making sure he can't hit the egg down as they'll kill him once.
He did steal it. Yapsor also has the Blink Dagger.
Let's see if they can make a big counter play here. Now VP indeed are having to back away. Yapsor jumping in. Oh, Yapsor! Absolutely beautiful. Comes in. Stolen RP onto 3, and VP. Oh boy, they're getting knocked back yet again. Yapsor indeed on his Rubik. Plays like that. I won't give him sort of that title as the best Rubik in the world. Oh man, they weren't ready for that one, VP. Did they see that it was stolen, do you think?
I do think they had to have known it was stolen, right? That's like,
they were grouped up, the 3 of them. I guess on the retreat, they had to sort of get away.
Costly Zai, though.
Couldn't have been better there.
Will get set up on top. Will easily be brought down at no one. So they will at least get one kill out of it, which is worth a lot of gold. 668 for no one. But the high ground is already being breached.
Trouble. There's no RP, there's no Supernova. Ramses used meta, right? So he's not even going to have that, is he, when he's back up? How long a meta? 80 seconds without Metamorphosis. Secret are pushing in.
They had to commit so much just to kill the Aegis. That's the big benefit for Secret. Solo.
He goes forward, but he's just going to get ripped apart straight away. Telekinesis there, he's surrounded, Solo's gone. The Meteor does get dropped down.
Who four-stepped him in? I think that was Nisha. Yeah, it was Nisha. The aggressive four-step pushing Solo out, even more out of position.
They're losing this tier 3 tower. Pasha's back in. We're saying no RP. The Prama split up again. Puppey using it to keep VP at bay, making sure Mid1's got the space to take the range racks and the melee racks as well, as it looks to be. As he pushes on, can they do anything to keep him off? They've got the Sunray and he does play careful. Doppelganger's out, and there's that item we talked about. Zai has now managed to finish off that Aghanim Scepter, so another potent component that Secret have ready for the team fight and for the anti-team fight as well. We'll see it here.
The beauty.
YapzOr comes in and whoo, we've got to go back to the real time because...
Do we?
No, we don't.
That's okay.
I guess that was quick. We saw what we needed to.
We did. He hit it. He
The
hit off
replay was as quick as sort of YapzOr's reactions and setup there. Fantastic.
It seems just really difficult for VP to start the fights.
Yeah.
That's just what it seems like time and time again. Secret just has this area that they just surround that is unable to breach. Nisha 8-1 and 8 on the Venom.
Oh, let's see it again.
Okay,
Oh,
let's
it was
see
so...
it again. Here we go.
yeah. Oh, a little slow this time. Oh, yeah. There we go.
Beautiful.
Thank you, production. I do love that. It was a great play.
I mean, it's picture perfect.
It was.
Oh,
Yeah,
the slow motion sounds as well. You hear the Terrorblade
nice.
dying
I do
in
love the
slow
slow
motion.
motion audio. It's very nice, very fancy. Oh, and YapzOr again getting another use out of it. Not as fancy as the 3-man, but it's able to trip up Roger as he catches out the bird.
It's going to be gone anyway. It was
Yeah,
probably
get a use out of it.
about to be gone
Yeah.
with that duration being 240 seconds. So what's the next item? I think Ramses almost needs a blink dagger. They might even need. They just. It's so weird because you're playing versus Veno and Zeus and stuff. It's so hard to actually be using blink daggers at all. I don't know how they really get this fight started themselves.
They've got to. I mean, how do you deal with sort of this PL army? Is there not even sort of the temptation for someone to get him a Yone? So you make it harder, but then who's going to build that? You don't really want to get it on TB, do you?
No.
So you...
I mean, you can't go for the blinks, yeah. You actually just can't. I don't know how you get the fight started.
What does Ramses get? I mean, he is... I mean, the one thing that we're really yet to see is if they do find their own team fight, their own RPs, you know, Ramses, he has a ridiculous amount of damage and setup, as we said, with the buffs.
If they can, though. Yeah. That's the difficulty. It's really getting the start.
Split from Puppey, starting to poke at them. They catch out the Phoenix again, as Roger's going to have to buy back. Can't afford to lose another team fight, VP, as they're now 9k behind. Secret taking a strong lead in this game. Solo leads in, chasing down YapzOr. YapzOr backs up with the Lotus Orb above him. There's the Sunstrike, but it's going to be off the mark. Solo getting trapped in by the illusions. The Spirit Lance comes in to finish him off as Mid1 gets the kill. Ramses heads in with the BKB and the Metamorphosis. The Reflection out as well. He's got the Vision onto Nisha up. He's going to be popped just for the Nisha kill. They do manage to get away with it. But it is just the Venomancer. Again, they're having to blow a lot for this VP. YapzOr starting to come back in, jumps forward with the Telekinesis. They're trying to burst Ramsey down in time, but they can't. Gets the Sunder off. Mid1's on top of him, but no one's able to get him off there with the Tornado. The EMP laid down, and Ramses can keep the distance. The Ice will slow down Mid1 a little bit. He's still got that passage charging forward. He's got a big army building up as he's on top of Pasha. Pasha trying his best to run himself away, and it's enough. Keeps the distance. Ramses can turn. Sunstrike will not connect Zai. TPs to safety. But Secret, they threw away quite a bit off the back of that fight, losing 4. I believe Ramses at least getting a triple kill out of that fight as well.
So that's the way you start the fight. You wait for the Bruce split to be down and you just hope for the best and you can just charge. They actually just have to charge into the backlines. It's still very difficult, but somehow they make that one work. That was pretty remarkable.
They do. That's a big step up for Ramses, as you can see now, jumping a little bit. Couple of thousand ahead of Mid1's PL, despite Mid1's fantastic performance so far. And you know, you did see sort of how scary that PL is at the end of the fight, nearly bringing down multiple members of VP, but not quite, as he was sort of on his own after the rest of Secret had fallen by his side.
There's no buyback on the PL.
There isn't.
He spent his gold on an Eagle Song.
Let's see how much VP can poke out of them for that. As they are about by the outside of the base. Roger's got a full Shiva's Guard as well.
They got so much gold from that one. Yeah. It was like an 8k gold lead for Secret swings. 9k, right? Okay, so yeah, 8k gold swing off of all of it. As Pasha now has a Blink Dagger, will almost finish the hood too. Several big items, so BKBs could be a very big success. I mean, they've already got 2 on VP, but if they also get a BKB on Pasha as well as Roger, then they can just really charge forward and allow Ramses and Nolan to use their spells at the most
I
efficiency.
mean, so sort of that play down at that tier 2 tower, do you think, was that just a bit of a mistake from Secret trying to force that fight?
Yeah.
They didn't need to do that?
It did seem like it, because they just picked up like the Eagle Song, they just had like a couple successful fights. It seemed like a really awkward location too, right? They were like inside the tree line fighting.
They're sort of at the very edge of the map.
Where it's like
tier 2 tower.
It's like Secret, they can fight in open areas really easily, and even in like some of the confined ones. But in that type of area where it's like along like a side route, that's where you'll give the avenue for VP to actually collapse and get on top of you. But it's still, I mean, it's still very hard for VP to get those off, and it's remarkable that they were able to there. As they just picked up so much. It's now just completely swung.
It really has. And Ramses, he's going to go for the butterfly. He's got the money, so full butterfly.
Best item versus PL.
On the Terrorblade.
Yeah. Best item versus PL. PL also is going to have evasion, but Terrorblade can itemize to deal with evasion a little bit better, in my opinion, than Phantom Lancer. Sure, MKB gives you the accuracy on your illusions for PL too, but it's not an item that you ideally want to have.
Terrorblade with the butterfly, and obviously Pasha by his side with the full pipe. There's a lot of ways to keep that team alive. They're smoking up. Thunder God's Wrath will scout out the movement. They know that VP's around that mid lane.
Smoke is also a very efficient tool for them to actually set up onto fights and collapse on top of Veno as well as the Zeus, as the Roche is spotted by VP. They want to try to catch them on the high ground here. Roger is level 18. They look to commit forward.
Let's see what they can get started here. Mid one sending in a Spirit Lance. There's going to be the Supernova popped immediately as Mid one will jump forward onto the egg in an attempt to get it down. But can he actually hit? He's not got enough hits. He commits for it, but he doesn't have enough attacks to take down the egg. Now the turnaround's there with the Sunray out. Mid one has to retreat. On the side, Pasha blows the RP just onto the solo Zeus as Mid one is focused down by Ramses and Roger. He's still alive with the doppelganger though. Mid one will finally fall. He buys back those. He knows that they're low on VP. Ramses turns to Puppey. Ramses is disabled by the telekinesis. They'll lose the Terrorblade. They'll catch out Solo as well. As Solo left behind by the rest of his team. This did cost them the buyback. He's Glimmer-caped.
They gotta go for Roche on Secret.
Wait, Solo's actually gonna be able to... Yeah, Absol knows he's still around. Not quite able to out-juke him there with the Glimmer-cape as they will come back and finish off Solo. But yeah, Terrorblade is dead for 70 seconds.
Straight to
Roshan is up. You've got to get in there as Secret.
Yapsor still has RP stolen as well.
Oh, he got it.
He did get it again.
Oh.
He got it literally instantly as soon as Pasha used it. So that buyback, well worth it for mid one.
Absolutely, if they can get this Roche, 100%. A great instant buyback. There's always going to be appealing with VP sort of drawing out the fight around that shrine. No one's seen that opportunity to get straight back in and get into the pit, into this Roshan. Is there anything VP can do? They've got 3 alive.
Man, these fights are
they can't get over it. They've got to let us go.
These fights are such absolute chaos, with everybody's blinks getting cancelled constantly by Veno wards, Veno Poison Nova as well. Just so many different things to try to keep track of. And the fight just keeps getting split up. We'll have the Cataclysm. Okay. Doesn't do much, but it looks pretty.
We got mid one with the Aegis. Cheese is going to go the way of... who's going to take it? Nisha? Yeah, Nisha, to make sure he does always get off that ult in the center of the fight, especially with that Axe. A lot of scary damage over time, especially with the BKB charges. What, getting a little lower. What are the BKB timings at the moment on the Terrorblade and the Invoker?
It should be down to like 5 or 6 already.
6 on the TB and 7 still on the Invoker.
Okay. They do have level 20 on Veno with Aghanims now too, so that damage is pretty ridiculous.
And do you like this approach as well from VP? I said obviously Roger got his Shiva's Guard. No one as well as we've seen, he has a Shiva's Guard as well. So having 2 just to help deal with the PL army.
Yeah, I think it's a good approach. I don't think you can ever really be mad about having multiple Shivas versus PL. I think in some situations you can be, but if you're Phoenix, you want to have Shivas just to protect your egg. That little bit of attack speed slow can always be incredibly useful. And then, yeah, just to be able to clear out some illusions to know which one's real is fine. And no one absolutely needs an armor item in this game.
Absolutely, yeah. And you don't want to get AC on Invoker.
No, definitely not.
Not at all.
Ramses spotted.
Underneath the ult, you have some Puppey having a bit of a poke at him.
They don't have any other. They don't have a core near them though, so they don't want to actually use their RP to try to set up. But bounty runes, all 4 will be claimed by Secret as they get their gold lead back. Just back and forth game. In gold and experience. I don't know if my win probability hockey works. Okay, my win probability hockey does work, and
what does it say?
It's only like 20% for Secret. It's been up and down all over the place as well, similar to the net worth in gold.
20%?
Or in experience.
Wait, you can't be reading that, right?
I can't be reading it right, sorry.
Yeah, bottom,
60%.
bottom left, look at yeah, it's at the bottom left.
61, sorry.
61%.
The number was darkened, apologies. I couldn't see it. I was like 20%. Wait, what?
20%.
How does that mean that they're winning?
harsh.
I was like, how does that mean that they're winning it?
Passion. He's in trouble, puppy. He's going to be able to run this one down. Pash is hiding. He's going to go for the TP. Not going to make it. Good size there. Lightning bolt comes through, and that's Pasha dead.
Row.
Has got buyback if the push comes in from Secret. And it certainly could with how big mid one is at the moment. This PL, Butterfly
25.
Heart, Aegis. He is a nightmare to deal with, and he's in. Straight away, they're looking to kick things off as they get themselves on top of no one.
The RP?
The stolen RP indeed holding him down through that BKB, allows them to kill him once. He'll buy back for this defense. They really don't want to let these melee rats go, but is there anything they can do to get Secret off them? The fortification comes out from VP. Secret, they're pushing on, and they're taking it. As Ramses can't do anything to stop them, they're really holding on to the buyback from Pasha.
I mean, especially
It's going to come out now, though.
when mid one is level 25 with this low-level doppel, reflection is pretty much, it's just not going to do the same as it used to.
Puppy.
You just keep removing it over and over again with that doppel.
Does get EMP, so he's a bit low on the mana front. Dive forward here, and that's going to get him into a perfect position with the Supernova there. Roger with the placement. The skewer back, the doppelganger is not going to save him from the Supernova stun. Woo. He's still going to try and play his way out. He's incredibly tanky, but they've got the AoE to burn through that Aegis, take down mid one the once, and with the meatball down upon him, they're ready to try and go for a second time if they can clear through these illusions. Mid one looking to get on top of no one, but he's outnumbered and surrounded by VP.
He's at 120. He used his buyback earlier.
Oh, they should know this, right, as well?
They should definitely know this.
They should know this. They knew that he bought back around that Roshan fight. Now is the time to go for VP. And, I mean, Roger there, well, that dive range.
Sick.
Coming in with that long-range dive, able to find the brilliant... Because you saw that, what was the play there for Secret? They can't hit the egg. They have to run away, but they're losing the fight either way. As soon as that egg's gone off, that's the fight won.
They can't kill the egg at this point.
They can't do anything about that.
No,
those sort of
not.
Phoenix play. This is why VP, they'll take that Phoenix straight up in the draft, as it can just pull off plays like that they're really, there's very little answers to.
No, there's like no way for them to kill the egg. And now also no one has the radio deafening blast too, so he has got another way to protect the egg. Even though he had to expend his buyback, so the Invoker has to be careful.
And he
still has meta on Terrorblade.
Yeah, he's got meta, and this is the buffs that we talked about. The alacrity, everything, they can buff him up. And there's no PL for a full minute to help for this defense from Secret. Nisha's going to go forward, try and come in with a big ult. You are going to see on the front, they catch out Roger. See if VP can push on still without their Phoenix. They're without Roger for 100 seconds. Ramsey's still with the BKB, but they are a little scared.
Ramsey's. The spam, the Rubik and Zeus, it's so much damage to clear out the creep waves. And all these Venom wards being placed down too. The Poison Nova is gone now.
Pasha's got an RP though, but again, they're getting hit by these wards.
I know, so annoying to play against.
You cannot get that jump in. I mean, this is a big win for Secret in the sense that you just lost your PL for 2 minutes, but you don't lose any of your base. You're able to push back the enemy, even though when they first came in with that push, VP, they had a full 5-man ready. They had Metamorphosis, they had RP ready to go, but they weren't able to break the base. Secret are able to repel them.
I think VP's also, they're trying to be a little calm too, because they did use the Invoker buyback, they did use the Magnus buyback as well, so they're like, we want to force the issue, but it can come at a huge risk to just losing the game abruptly, so they play a little bit more discipline, and looks like they're going to just back up, pick up their next big items, because the Invoker had a full Octarine ready to be purchased off the courier, and I think Ramses also had like 7,000 gold or 6,000 gold when they were going for that push.
Well, what is he getting next, Ramses?
Satanic.
Okay, Satanic.
He's getting rid of the hood. He popped the Satanic immediately as soon as he got it too. There you go. He had full health, but he was just clicking it.
And he took the Sun to cooldown right this game, Ramses?
Yep.
Yeah.
We have to watch for that mana burn, of course, since now it does have a 50 mana cost versus that PL can actually become a bit of an issue. But this could actually be important. This is random, but there's a haste rune on Pasha. Okay. This could actually give him an opportunity to get him in. He's also got the level 20 for that skewer range as well, so we're going to watch for that one. But both sides, Secret, I believe they do have the PL with buyback now. VP They still don't have theirs, and no one did
How
spend
long
the gold.
is it until no one's got
About 4 minutes, I believe
4 minutes
it was.
still.
3 minutes 40, and he doesn't have the gold for it either, so.
Okay.
They're going to try to push out the side lanes. You see Solo's actually the one dealing with bottom right now as an ogre. We'll watch him.
He's got a fair bit of money, Solo as well.
I mean, he's got a big
3K
push.
gold.
They're going to have to deal with this push bottom, actually, because it's a double catapult wave. Secret has to back up to deal with this creep wave, or they will actually lose their racks to an ogre. The Manta Illusions are being sent down bottom. They should make it in time to at least start a little bit of an army, but...
VP there starting to head out a little bit up top. Secret are still around this area of the map. It's Puppy. Maybe looking for
Roger.
potential to start something off. The Primal Split's going to come through. Roger puts the Shiva's Guard, goes for the ult. They're trying to take this egg down. They're bringing in the PL. The up is coming in. Can they get the egg? They can't.
get it off.
The egg successful. They're going to be able to burst down Nisha. Now they turn their attention towards Mid-1. Mid-1 trying to doppelganger away, but he's been disarmed. Meteor comes down, won't connect with Mid-1. Another doppel, another turn. The telekinesis, they grab no one. He's out for 2 minutes. He's dead for 2 minutes. Solo's dead as well. With no buyback on the Invoker, no buyback on Pasha's Magnus. This is going to be game over, I think. There's no Terrorblade can buy back. But Mid-1 just picking up an Ultra. They have to defend a 3. I don't think they can, Fog. There's no Magnus, there's no Invoker, and Secret, they've got the full 5-man ready to go as they made the call to make that jump. And no one, he didn't get the BKB off. He did get the BKB, but it's just so short at this point of the game.
He just gets shredded. One lift and gets surrounded by the illusions, and he's
it's
dead.
over.
And they just
GG.
call it. Yep,
Game
that's GG.
over.
What an
Ending
incredibly
like
back
that.
and forth
Woo.
game.
Secret able to do it here in game 2, and
I'm pretty surprised.
My goodness.
I'm pretty surprised that VP was able to take some of those fights. Like we were mentioning, the area that they can actually set up on the side of Secret with these Veno wards and like, just that control made it so hard for VP to actually start and just get into the fights. Bottom was like miraculous that they were able to get that off, but then afterwards we saw the beauty from Secret's lineup actually really starting to come to fruition.
And well, what do you
That was
know?
crazy close.
One of the best teams in the world. They can't win with Magnus. It's as if that hero just isn't very good.
Seb's gonna get you.
Seb's
Seb is
gonna get
listening
me.
right
He's
now. And
listening.
he's waiting
He's
for
like,
you to say something about
My
it.
goodness, how dare you say that? And I love you, Seb. But no, the Magnus, it really does have its issues, especially in a game like that. It was a very hard game to play the Magnus. You have all these sort of damage over times, cancelling the blink. We like the build that he went for, so the helm, the pipe, tanking up, so we could just look for maybe an opportunity to walk in, at least survive and get the spells off. But it's, I don't know.
Maybe the Shadowblade could have actually been an argument, right? Because
with the
there's still
Zeus
just so
and
much. With the
stuff,
Zeus is what makes it
it
really
was hard.
complicated. And he didn't really. It's not like he had the space to be able to farm as a Magnus. He has an Invoker and a Terrorblade who's taking majority of the space on the map, and him getting like a BKB, a Shadowblade, like all these items is just unlikely. And Secret, they played really calm and really patient. It was really nice to see.
Good recovery from Zai. Nisha playing solidly, and Mid-1's PL just top of his game the entirety of that match. Is the series at a draw at the moment, 1-1 between Secret and VP as we pass you back to the panel.
They like these sudden GGs, don't they? Well, game over, 1-1, all square. Good stuff from Secret. And Will, what do you make of that?
I mean, that was just kind of a weird game because I thought that once the TB got to the point that it did, same with the Invoker, that the game was going to be pretty over, but they did such a good job of neutralizing the Magnus. Like, he was never really able to get online. I mean, we saw YapzOr have the best RP of the game by far. So when you're put into that kind of position, I feel like Pasha, in the Enigma game, he was given all the tools in the world to succeed. In that game, as Magnus, didn't really have any opportunities.
Yeah, and
Definitely lacked impact.
And even giving him power to TB just didn't matter that much. Like, it helped him farm and keep ahead, but TB already farms so fast anyways that past that, it's like, and it gets dispelled, so it's like his entire hero's purpose was like buy defensive items and occasionally be helpful. But like towards the end of the game, it actually felt like YapzOr's Rubik, Magnus, RP steals were better than what Pasha could actually do.
It was definitely the better Magnus, that's for sure. Where did it start to go wrong for Virtus.Pro? Because on paper, when we came out of the draft, it looked a powerful draft, didn't it? It looked a dangerous draft. Very, had a lot of damage in there and a lot of potential with the two on the side of the Invoker and the TB. It looked great on paper.
I think what happened largely is that Secret just did an amazing job in most of their team fights. They were always knowing what the threats were. It's like keep Plague Wards all around so that Magnus can't jump in an RP, and then from there they just need to kill the Phoenix, and they did that effectively in so many fights. It was one of the really big benefits of Rubik that was more multifaceted than just steal RP and use that. So that he was always looking for Phoenix, and then Peel would go on him, and Phoenix didn't necessarily want to egg just for that because he knows he's going to die. And then at the right time when he's at like half HP, that's when YapzOr jumps in, lifts him, throws some spells, and then boom, Phoenix is dead. And then they know that they can take a fight because there's nothing to protect with RP or Deafening Blast. So it's like VP's win condition was like, get us a big egg down and then defend it with Deafening Blast and RPs. And if they could do that, they could win the fight. But that's a lot of difficult things to do for them.
I was going to say, it's a tall ask. Lots on the list to get through on that one. Talking of lists, there's the list of players that did very well on the Team Secret side. Pick out an MVP, I guess, from that. Nisha 10, 3, and 18. Mid 1, 13, 6, and 7. Also some very useful stuff from Zai in that game as well. He had a much better game. Alongside Puppy on the Brewmaster as well, 4, 8, and 17. And over on the other side, Virtus.Pro 13, 5, and 6 for Ramses, 10, 3, and 11 on No One. Their two cores doing work in the game, but not quite enough, Will.
Yeah, I think actually this Puppy Brewmaster is making me reconsider how this hero looks in his play, because as a 5 position, he looks incredible. You don't need a Blink Dagger. You just kind of pop your ult off in the middle of the river, catch up with the Storm Panda, and it makes it really hard to take a fight, because you don't want to devote your resources as a carry to just killing the Brewlings. It takes a little bit too long. There's just too much to deal with. It's annoying. One goes invis, so you can't really kill the hero. Whereas your typical 5 hero, you walk in there, you die in 3 seconds, that was your team fight contribution. Whereas it felt like Puppy was always useful. Even when he just uses ult defensively sometimes, that's normally going to be a kill on a 5 position support, whereas Puppy just kind of runs away.
Yeah, I did think it was weak in the laning stage though. Like during the lane stage, he had like 3 times. Like VP really pointed out the problems with it there. But I know you were a little unsure about YapzOr leaving the safe lane to go help the offlane, but I do hope that I do think that it helped Puppy get a faster level 6, like a reasonable level 6, instead of just kind of go even. And then when he did get 6, then yeah, he absolutely benefited a lot. But I was not sold on it until he got like Drum's area. That's when things started going better for him. But I thought Puppy outdrafted himself at first.
He wasn't super poor in that game as well. Had a reasonable amount of fun. In fact, more than Solo in that one, so slightly ahead of him. MVP time. Let's take a look. It's mid 1. Okay with that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he was basically the guy that had to stand in the fire, basically, and basically just try to face check his opponents and make the right moves in the right moments. And there weren't a lot of times that he made crucial mistakes, and so he's basically constantly in danger, basically. And he also had to play 1v1 versus no one, which is not an easy feat either. And then also just continue to scale. I think he played really solid.
Yeah, good stuff. Will?
I thought mid 1 was also probably the MVP in that game. Him or YapzOr. I could make an easy argument for YapzOr too, because I felt like the 3-man RP when he went over the hill, that was incredible. I felt like that was the
moments, isn't it?
Yeah, this is just you. I've demoralized you. Yeah. I am the real Magnus now. Look at me, Pasha.
And as soon as it's off cooldown, he gets like another kill on the Phoenix. Later on, steals another spell. Like he was actually setting tempo so good mid game. It was incredible.
Yeah, good stuff from YapzOr again. Right then, break time for us here at ESL One Hamburg, but we do have one more game to go because the best of 3 has gone all the way. You knew it would do as well when it's Secret and Virtus.Pro. We'll see you in a bit.